Hello everybody and welcome to ErebosGamingHD. We've got some more Dynasty Warriors 8 footage for you here, and this is on the Wu story, and I will be playing as Sun Jian, who is a level 25, and we managed to get two 4-star weapons here, so it should be okay. And this is the Battle of Liang Province. This is a side mission, so to speak, if you do the secret stars on the first mission. And there's not much historical reference to this. It's not well, there might be, but I couldn't find much. All the information that I found was around the time that this took place. This took place directly after the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and after that was successful with the Allied forces, this rebellion sort of picked up, and it didn't really have much of a historical impact. It was just one of these places to conquer in terms of people looking for power, so to speak, expanding their power and their land, etc. So I'll be playing as Sun Jian, as I've already said. He is pretty good. His PvP's alright, nothing special. His area of effect and his PvE stuff, weapon attacks and movesets are brilliant. Now, what I've done here is I've sped up the battle up to the point where I find an enemy commander. Now these unit commanders, I'm guessing, are to replace normal commanders to keep it a bit more interesting for the person that's playing the game. So in this map there's not a lot of enemy officers to defeat, so it's just a load of unit commanders, but there is several places where I'll stop the speed up, for example now, and this is when I'm fighting normal enemies like Liang Xing, for example. Any enemy officers where it comes up with the exclamation mark or the nice little blue hexagon thing which segments when you're trying to use your affinity. And we'll get straight into rage here, not mess around. His rage is pretty good. It makes it seem like he's like a proper hardcore beast, because it's got a little screen sort of shake going on there. I haven't recognised that with any of the other ones up to date, and it is pretty powerful. Fortunately I killed one enemy officer, but I've got another one introduced and 3 unit commanders, so it's going to get a bit cozy. And this circular thing, I'm not too sure, I don't think that's weapon related, I think that's related to his level. I can't remember the 4-star skill level that he's got for it, but that is very handy, especially when trying to take out multiple enemies and keeping people that are behind you from hitting you. Now taking out all them enemy officers there. Both unit commanders are down, and the enemy officer was down as well. Didn't even catch his name, he died that quickly. And we're taking out Yan Xing and another handful of unit commanders. By the way, this is on chaos difficulty. I'm just making it look good. One of the points that I'd like to highlight, especially when I've now completed Shu, and I'm moving on to Wu, and I found that Wu, there's a lot more requirements in terms of strategy, and that becomes apparent, especially in these sort of battles where you're taking out enemy officers, you've been given a role to do, and then all of a sudden a lot of enemy officers will start to flank you, and then you have a decision to make to either concentrate on the objective in front of you or to help your lines, your flank lines, to ensure that they don't get overwhelmed by the enemy officers. So as you can see now, we've got 2 enemy officers that have just appeared on the east side of the map. So I'm just working out which way east and west, and they're coming up. One's coming up through the caves at the top, and the other ones are coming through on the bit where I'm going to go now. So I've made a conscious decision to try and stop them from moving, because I can see at the north side of the map I've got a lot of my allied forces stuck there waiting to intercept their attack. So I'm going to focus on Zhang Heng. His Musos. That one was his alternate Muso, and that is specifically for enemies in front of you. It's probably not the best in terms of damage. It doesn't do too bad. I prefer his normal Muso to the alternate one. And his jumping Muso's pretty... Again, it's pretty fancy. At least they haven't done the standard. That's the normal Muso one there. That's a lot more effective. Got a wider range of attack. There's your jumping one. Nice. Makes him look pretty badass. I do like that one. That's probably one of my favourites up to date. You don't just have the single boring standard straight attack. You have the normal attack, and then he does like a little X with his sword, stamps it on the ground, and then kicks him. It's brilliant. I like it. So Zhang Eng's taking a bit of a beating. He's not dying too easily. And that, what you just saw there, that's his special X weapon attack, and that is a complete miss and waste of a Muso. That X attack is 4 squares, a triangle, and then a triangle after that. I've got him now. He's gone. There we go. So now I'm going to go back to my allied commander, who at this point is the notorious Dong Zhuo, the tyrant, the greedy, fat, pain in the ass crybaby. I've got Machao and Madai coming in. As you can see, they're coming from the west side of the map. So I'm going to focus on Machao and make sure he doesn't get anywhere near my allied commander, and hopefully allow my allies to take out Madai. Oh. That did nothing. Did you see that? His health hardly moved. Yeah, see him crying like a little girl, like I said. Nice. It's just I have to say, Sun Jian, I do like his moveset. I've got no problems with this guy at all. I really enjoyed playing him on this level. I had no problems at all. His speed is good as well. That's normally with characters that do quite a lot of damage, like this guy, the speed normally suffers, but in terms of this, his speed is okay. It's not the best, but it's counteracted with his AoE range. You can see Machao's trying to switch his weapon there, and I didn't want to get caught in that because that would have probably killed me, so I'm just going straight into the Muso there to avoid that. And we finally removed Machao from this battle. He's run away like a little girl crying. I'm going to move straight onto Madai. They did quite a lot of work, quite impressive. But I'm just come here, I'll finish it off for you, I'll show you how it's done. And he's out of there. One smooth move. And what I'm doing here, I do think it's important to kill the unit commanders, even though they're not generals. They're like mini generals, so to speak. So if you take out the unit commanders, it does affect your morale. As far as I'm aware, I have seen my morale change. That might have been from different things going on during the battle, but I'm pretty sure that unit commanders act as a normal officer. All I think what's going on there is unit commanders have been replaced because they don't have the names of any enemy officers that they can put in there, or this battle, that's all the enemy officers that were actually there from a historical point of view, so they're replacing it with unit commanders to make the battle a bit more action-packed. And unit commanders are a pain in the ass. I mean, I've struggled with a couple of unit commanders in the future videos, more than I have with enemy officers. I'm gonna get away from that before he murks me. So this is Pang De. It's quite interesting playing these stories from the beginning because you can see this bit we've just fought Pang De, Machao, Madai, Dong Zhuo's our commander, and that all changes. So it's quite good. You can see from the historical, you know, as you're going through these maps, you can see the changes occurring. So you know that Pang De goes to Wei, Machao and Madai end up going to Shu, and obviously everybody ends up killing Dong Zhuo. It just shows you what war's like really in this sort of dynasty. You know, Dong Zhuo's leading all these the Wu forces into this battle, and then in a future battle the Wu forces are grouping together in an allied force against Dong Zhuo. So it's quite interesting. I think it's interesting anyway. You guys might not think it's interesting. So I managed to kill all the enemy officers, and now we're going after the enemy commander. At the time I didn't realise that this was the finale, so we're going to flank him, come behind him. And the reason I'm rushing is because I noticed that Dong Zhuo's moved up, so I need to get in there as soon as possible so he doesn't die. And we got Ho Zuan, a handful of unit commanders, and Cheng Gongying, Banzang, brilliant names. Bianzhang as well, that looks like. I'm assuming that the enemy commander is the one with the red cloud around him. I pick up a ×2, and you know the rest, and he's not going to survive this. You see the nice little screen shake. I do like his move, so. And that's it. He's down. That game is done, and I have to say that is a pretty impressive time for a level 25 character on Chaos. I absolutely torched that battle. You get a nice little speech there. Ah, no they can't. Right, okay, I will see you on the next episode, and I hope you all enjoyed.